fucking bitch. I was going to bully his ass, and I'm going to. This is when he's sitting at his wife's kitchen table because he doesn't have his own shit. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
He literally fucking drove a fucking state over a state line to go fucking harass a woman and call the fucking cops. Let me tell you.
And for nothing, because he sat in the courtroom. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I walked in, the first thing I did was flipping his wife off. I did right there in the courtroom. But all they did was sit there for nothing. I didn't even have to see the judge that day. My lawyer put me in the hallway and he said, we're getting ready to dismiss your case, but we just need verification from the CPS worker. She's closed the case. And I said, okay, cool. Call her up and get this done. Now, Colby's dumbass, he's like, that doesn't mean that's what it is. It got continued. No shit, bitch. You got to wait for the next available court date, which is December 9th, ho. They don't just call you up and say it's dismissed, bitch. The judge has to, it has to be a formal thing, you know? So on the 9th, when my shit gets dismissed, fuck you, Colby.
I believe her.
And then he ran to the, you don't need to. I got the email from my lawyer. What you mean, believe? That's what happened. But then when we go into the parking lot, he was like, oh, well, your energy changed. You were talking shit inside the courtroom, but outside you were being this and that. First of all, bitch, I already know you're recording and or live. And thankfully I didn't go crazy because you went into the police station right after and tried to press charges on me and they told you no. He's like, your energy changed in the parking lot. No, it's called when I know a bitch like you's recording, motherfucker, I'm going to act right, ain't it? I'm not going to act stupid if you record me and turn it in, dumbass. And sure enough, he walked into the police station when I was already on my way home. After driving past my house, went to the police station trying to put charges on me. The fuck? What the fuck? So the cop said, who are you, where you're from, and why? Yeah. I have it on recording. This dumbass was live when he went inside the police station. The cop said, and who are you to her? He was like, just someone from the internet bringing awareness about her charge. And he was like, and why do you care? And the cop, swear to God, he was like, you drove this far because you care why? I'm like, oh, fuck. Cuz stupid.
Like, who the fuck does that? That's fucking weird. That's creepy as fuck, bro. Like, that is so fucking creepy.
Well, what's even creepier is his whole ass wife was in that courtroom. Not only did I flip them off, I waited till nobody was in there. There wasn't a judge. There weren't no lawyers. I'm not stupid. When the judge left the bench and I came back from talking to my lawyer on the hallway, mind you, Colby didn't get to hear what my lawyer said. I kind of wish he did because now he's calling me a liar about waiting on the CPS worker, whatever. Anyway, so when I go back in there, nobody's in the courtroom, and I took it upon myself, and I said, you look real stupid now, bitch. And he was like, no, bitch, you're gonna look, in the courtroom he's saying this, calling me out my name and everything. I said, bitch, I'll dog your fucking ass. I was like, you wanna wear my skin, motherfucker? You Jeffrey Dahmer ass looking ass bitch stalking me and shit. And his wife. Now, whoever's married in this live, I'm not married, but I've had a man before.
I am.
I would be motherfucking damned if another bitch spoke to my man like that in front of me, and that woman didn't say a word to me, not outside, not
Baby,
inside.
I've been married 26 years. 26 years. If you talk to my man like that, I'm about to be fucking handcuffed in that courtroom.
Thank you.
I jumped out of a moving car.
Exactly. Courtroom or not.
With my brother-in-law for calling my husband.
Man, I called him every name but Colby in front of her, and she didn't do shit. I didn't even hear her speak. That bitch didn't say a word. Now, not me, baby. We're not the same. I would have at least called me a bitch or something. She didn't say a word.
Bitch, you come at my man, I'm going to jail.
And I was calling him hard.
And I look good in
But
orange,
I mean, like,
bitch,
all bullshit aside, it's very true. And, you know, now that I'm in here, I'm not going to stay long or stay on topic of this because it's not about me. But I did want to update a lot of you guys, too, because, you know, I did have a conversation with Queen. And she was very gracious enough to be one of the few people that reached out to me and said, listen, I want to hear your side. And I told her everything top to bottom, you know, and we had a very good conversation. And then that was before my court date. So yes, that is exactly what's going on. They wanted to dismiss it that day. But unfortunately, the CPS worker who got called here that day, you know, she did close my case immediately. I'm waiting on the letter of it being closed. She was supposed to call and report that to the prosecutor and my lawyer. Well, she failed to do so for whatever reason. She probably got backed up. Who knows? My lawyer brought that up at the court date. He was like, I still haven't heard from her. I really need to hear from her because the prosecutor agreed to dismiss all charges on you. But we need to make sure there's not an open CPS case. Because basically, if she's going to keep a case open on me, they're going to let the charge stick. They are. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But there's no CPS case on me. She closed it, and they just need that verification. So I said, well, shit, can you call her? Can you call her and do it now? He was like, I can call her in the morning, and that's really not how it works. He's like, unfortunately, you're going to have to come back to court and let the judge, hear all this and approve it because he's got the final approval of it. And I'm like, okay, well, when's that going to be? Like next week? He's like, with the holidays, the first one we have is the 9th. So unfortunately, it's bittersweet. I know it's going to be dismissed, but I have to wait until December 9th for it to be formal. So it's a formal technicality.
So, girl, I will say this.
So maybe can suck my dick.
Queen did call me, and she notified me of the situation, which I already knew about the situation, but she was like, I've talked to her personally, and I believe her.
Right.
She said, these people are going to look like a bunch of fucking idiots once all this comes to light, and it all gets dropped. And I believe in her, and I trust her word. And that I've been following you for over a fucking year. And I was like, hey, if you talk to her personally and you believe what she's saying, then, I mean, it's her business, but I'm not one to judge.
It doesn't help when Maymay and Colby for the past 6 weeks have been twisting everything. Even going off a police report, there's a lot of things that people don't understand. They can call this an excuse, whatever they want. And I told Queen this. You can take what you want at face value. Even with that police report, a lot still happened outside of that police report that either wasn't noted or happened after to where it wouldn't be noted. Like the whole kid's father thing was twisted. I was never sleeping. That was twisted. My son and my kid's father, I believe, are the ones that told the cops I was probably sleeping. That's not the case. That doesn't mean I was sleeping. No cop even came
they
in
said
my
you
home.
were sleeping. Your kid was found miles down the fucking road.
And that's the next thing I was going to get to. Colby also, when he drove past my house, if y'all were watching that live, he GPS searched this address from my police report. This dumbass. So when my son did unfortunately get out, he walked to a building close to my house to where I could spit on. Okay, I could spit on it. Matter of fact, I went outside and showed Queen on my own camera on the call. It's right next door to my house. It was definitely not no 6 blocks. Anyway, there was a guy walking to work, and that's where the 911 call came in. This guy, of course, thank God he did. If I saw a 4-year-old out there, I'd call 911 too, right? I would. So he called 911. This guy's walking to work. His home address is 6 minutes away from me. His home address is where Colby's dumbass GPS searched and drove to the day he drove past my house, trying to say, look how far her baby walked. You dumbass motherfucker. That police report had the witness's home address in it. That's how they do it. They put the information on there. That's not where my son walked to, bitch. My son was retrieved at the park next door to my house. He did not walk 6 minutes that way and then walked back past my house to the park? Come on, Colby.
So what people need to understand is that kids, whenever they're at a certain age,
yes, I do. I'll answer her as soon as Yaya's done.
They will get out and they will open a door on their own. And you can be cleaning the back of the house.
Friend did it though.
That's what I'm saying. You can be cleaning the back of the house, mopping, sweeping, cleaning up something. Next thing you know, a kid runs out the door and it happens. It does happen.
And I'm not blaming my son. Maymay tried to say that too. Listen, I'm not blaming him at all. But if the police need the true story, I'm not going to not give him the true story. And my son's the one that told him. He started getting upset. He was like, okay. Because he tried to tell a story to me and the cop. He was nervous. I get it. And he tried to really say that my 4-year-old stood up on a stool and unlocked the chain lock that's 6 feet tall by himself. And I'm like, no, Daniel, that didn't happen.
But anyone who has children understands that kids get out of the house, they wander around, and it does happen. And it's scary.
Well, finally, my son came out and told the truth. He was like, officer, I'm sorry. I did tell a story. He's like, when my friend came over, it's my fault. I forgot to remind him to lock the chain. I'm sorry. It was bad. And I'm like, you're not in trouble, son. Like, he was shook.
And I don't think anybody that isn't, I don't think anybody that isn't a parent should not fucking judge you.
Right. But they never gave me that grace of even hearing me out. That's the thing. I immediately was a liar. I was immediately a drugged out, sleeping piece of shit mom. You do realize the CPS worker that day had me take a willing random mouth swab. I was willing to do it and it was random as fuck. I didn't know she was going to do it. That shit came back the following Tuesday, clean as a whistle. I don't do drugs. I have a prescription that I take. I don't do drugs. Nobody was comped. Nobody was sleeping. Nobody was on drugs. Nobody walked 6 miles. They're liars. It was a very unfortunate, horrible mistake. And at the end of the day, I am very happy that my son is okay. And I'm also implementing different rules around the house. I don't have my teenage son watch him any longer. Not that he's in trouble, just my choice. And I've changed things around here. So if CPS is not wanting to be involved, the court's about to dismiss me on the 9th. Why the fuck are Colby and Maymay playing judge, jury, and trial right now? Answer me that.
Because they gotta fucking find some way to get some clout to fucking drag you.
And sorry, Nelson, the way they got the police report was at first it was Nicole that publicized this. And Nicole has searched my criminal record. So I'm like, what did Nicole do? Just sit around and have like a button if Gro gets arrested, light up red? Well, so we were all trying to figure out how she got the police report initially. Nicole, I mean. And mind you, I was never arrested, by the way. I got a citation. I never went to jail. I never left my house that day. My kids never left my custody. They've been home with me the whole time. I never got looked, fingerprinted or nothing. Nothing. It was a ticket. Anyway, and my kids were never taken from a home. But anyway, so we're like trying to figure out how the fuck did Nicole get this shit? Come to find out, long story short, we finally figured it out. Ashley Manning, that dirty bitch, me and her were fighting that week. And she never ran my criminal record. So coincidentally, very coincidentally, the weekend that this happened, 'cause it was very recent, it was that weekend of the October 13th. The weekend it happened was the weekend Ashley Manning decided to look up my criminal record. And boom, here's this new charge on me. So Ashley gave it to Nicole and they ran with it. Gro has been arrested and she was put in county for neglecting and abusing her kid. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck, bitch? I never went to no county. And who got abused? The fuck? Who got abused?
Nelson, get in the fucking box.
What do you mean you ain't believe it? What, me or that Nicole? That's how she got the police report.
Nelson, get in the box. Please. Thank you.
Go ahead, Nelson.
Don't. I'm not trying to be mean in any type of way. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that.
No, you're good.
I wasn't either. I'm sorry. I wasn't.
Okay, so and don't hate me for this, but there has to be
You said an
there's more
inside
than running
person
a
as far as a report?
okay, listen to me. I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
Okay.
There's more than running a background check for them to be able to pick that up because
Yeah, Nelson, they wouldn't even
don't
give me
hate-
the police
I know
report.
this sounds bad, you're gonna hate me for it, but okay, look,
I emailed the police department. They
yes,
said no.
I emailed the police
They wouldn't
department
give-
and they would not give me that report.
Yep, same for me, and I'm the defendant. I was like, "Can I get the police report?" The day
they
after
said
Nelson,
that if
they
you were a
emailed me back
defendant,
and
you had to
said
go
no.
through. Yeah, you had to go
Yep.
through somebody.
Hang on. Can I ask a
Well,
question real
there was
quick?
another rumor we heard.
Hang
Another
on.
rumor.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Why are people emailing and asking for personal information on other people on fucking TikTok?
Well, I mean, I can't really complain. I've never done it per se, but my friends around me have done it in the past. Obviously, I personally don't do it. But that's what this side of TikTok does. I can't complain because my friends have done it in the past to people, so I would be a hypocrite if I sat there and bitched
I
about
just
it.
don't get it. If it doesn't affect your personal life, like, I don't get it.
It was too embarrassing, shaming, and that's okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm sorry.
But
I just
Nelson's
don't.
right. Nelson's right because we heard the whole Ashley Manning and Nicole thing, but then Maymay, mind you, went live a couple days after we heard this, and she is such a big mouth girl. She put up a green screen of an email. She emailed somebody in my district attorney office. She showed it. It's a real email. I have the woman's name, and I gave this to my lawyer. I'm like, listen, this is fucked up. This person from my DA office emailed the report back to Maymay. That's kind of alarming that you're giving that shit to an internet stranger with my kids' names.
Right.
Very alarming. I don't like that. If you want to put that, if you want to give it to her with my name, my kids' names redacted, go ahead. But
League C2 top 70%. I don't know what that means.